Hey guys and gals, it's Jim here, and finally decided to do a video on one of the recent builds I did about a month ago, and all that. This is the MPC, the TIE Advanced X-1 Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. MPC repopped this. This is an old kit from way back in the late 70s, whatever, early 80s when Star Wars first came out. It's a 32nd scale. It's a very large kit. It's the Bandai kit is a 72nd scale. This is like 2.5 times bigger. Studio scale was 1/24. This is actually the closest you're going to get in a plastic model kit to a studio scale TIE fighter type vehicle. You can see by the size of my hand next to the solar panels or whatever you want to call them, exactly how big it is. I think it's about 6 3/4, 6.5 deep by about 7.5 inches wide, and it's almost, I think, 4.5 inches tall. So it's a good size kit. You can see right here, even the sphere, how big it is. I don't have a Bandai one on hand right now, but you can almost see how big it is. Let's see, I got a Tamiya paint bottle here. This paint bottle is about the size of the Bandai sphere, so you can see, in fact, the paint bottle might be a little bit bigger than the Bandai, the body, the sphere on it and stuff. So, but anyway, it's a nice size kit. It's got nice detail. It's not as crisp as the Bandai kits are, but it's fair. You know, if you want a decent model, a large size, just to have, you know, put on display. Building it, it's a horrific kit. It's a piece of junk. I don't know why round two pops a lot of these, does a lot of these old repops when the molds are so old. Everything, as far as the parts, look nice. I had to do a lot of work. Well, I'll spin it around in a little bit, but along this front seam, the two halves, that's the upper and lower and all that, and the body, it's all one piece. It's not like a separate back area like the Bandai kits are. But this gap I had to clamp down and also push the top half in order to get everything to line up properly. I use a lot of the Tamiya liquid cements. I clamped it for hours on end. As soon as I took the clamps off, it'd pop. I finally had to go in there and reclamp it and use my Plastic cement. That stuff, it literally welds the plastic. To me, it just glues it. It melts the plastic together a little bit, but it's not as strong as a bond as the Plastic. So I got that accomplished with the Plastic. There's little pieces with the detail in them that go in there. I had to do a lot of filler work around the edges because those didn't fit properly. I had to do some filler work along the seam once I did get it all cemented up. Now the wings, they attach. They're like two, they're hex shaped, and all that. They didn't fit. The parts, the two body halves, when you got them glued together, they were a different shape hex than the actual parts that you glue on the inside of the wings and everything. So I had to do a lot of filing and whittling and everything to get everything to match up real nice and all that. And eventually, in order to get them to hold on real nice, I used 5-minute epoxy because there was no way you're going to get a nice glue surface with all the hacking I had to do to get things to fit properly. Another reason I had to do a lot of hacking is because if you didn't get them to fit right, the wings, one would be twisted. They'd be twisted. They wouldn't be like lined up almost, you know, flush with each other, you know, edge to edge straight and everything. So that was a lot of tedious. This isn't the model kit for a beginner or somebody that hasn't got a lot of experience, you know, doing a lot of modifications to get everything to fit properly. But anyway, you know, I did it up just pretty much like I do my Bandai kits and everything. I used my Sky Gray Tamiya and everything. I was reading, I came across a YouTube channel. It's all the different Star Wars studio models by some gentlemen, and they go into a lot of detail on, you know, all the different things. The TIE fighters were actually painted gray. That bluish tint that they give them, they painted them special just for filming. But the studio models, if you see the actual studio models on display, they are painted gray. Same as he went in and described the Star Destroyer. That was painted pretty much what Floquil used to be a reefer white. It's like an off-white. They called it Rust-Oleum white that they used in the ILM when they were building the studio model, and pretty much just the little spots here and there were shaded a little different shade of white, but it was predominantly white. There was no gray on it whatsoever. Any shading that you saw, there was no panel line detail or anything. I mean, the panel lines were in the model, but there was no panel line washes or nothing like that. It was just a plain old white ship, and a lot of the gray panel that you saw was just done with different lighting effects and everything like that. Interesting fact on the Star Destroyer and on the Y-wing. The Star Destroyer, the three large engine cones, and on the Y-wing, the two front, the front of the engines, those curved pieces, covers. Those were back in the 70s and 80s. If you guys remember the legs commercials, the women's pantyhose legs, that's what those engine cones and everything were made from. The halves of the eggshells that the legs pantyhose came in and everything like that. So I thought that was a pretty interesting fact. But anyway, I did it all up. I did lighting. I lit the interior. I got a red LED in there, kind of down below Darth and right behind the front panel there. And that way it shines up against him and kind of lights the rest of the cockpit fairly nice. Since this is a bigger model too, a little bit more room, I did go in there on the side. There's some little panel detail and stuff. So I drilled out for some fiber optics, and I lit them all up red. I think I might have done a couple of them white, I'm not sure. You can see it on that side too. Might be some down lower that are white, but I did a little bit more lighting on this than I did on my Bandai ones as far as the fiber optics on the interior. I got my laser guns just flashing with a flashing unit. I wanted to run this off a 9-volt battery, but the flashing units that I got, you can adjust the timing on them and stuff. They're like little push button things. They only run off at 12 volts. 9 volts isn't enough to power them and stuff. They're actually made for your strip LEDs, like you can set the different flashing patterns, the speeds, different effects and everything like that. You can change the colors, which these don't change the colors on the LEDs when you're using a certain color, but those are done with fiber optics. And the plastic parts were too small to drill, so what I did, I used brass tubing that was the same size as the plastic parts, and I made my guns out of little pieces of brass tubing. I think that's 16th inch or something, and then I made a little sleeve to fit over them so they had the same contour as the regular guns. On the back of it, I did like the 4 engines back there and all, top and bottom. I made a little drilling jig kind of to put over there. That way they'd all come out evenly, evenly centered and everything in the little molded pieces and stuff, because there really wasn't no detail back there where there might have been like engine, holes for the engines and stuff. So I made myself a little jig for my drill and stuff, so I get them all, pretty much centered in the right place and all that. Did a little bit of weathering, not much, just a little bit of light pastels and stuff like that to give it some streaks and things like that, bring out some of the detail on the side and everything. All in all, like I said, it's not a badly detailed kit. It's not as crisply molded. The solar panels, the end panels aren't bad, but the sphere and everything, you can see the detail, but if you get real close down to it, it's a little bit more, not as sharply defined as the Bandai kits and all that, but it's decent. It's got the detail. You can see the light coming through the top there as well and all that, so I'm pretty happy I built it. It's a nice size model. It makes, if you just want one Star Wars model, something decent size, You know, and you got the experience to be able to work with it and get everything to fit properly. It's a decent model, but for a beginner, they're going to have nothing but issues with it and stuff. Just made a regular plain old base for it and all that, kind of like I did for my TIE bomber, my 3D printed TIE bomber, the second version that I built. And all that, but it's nice size. You know, it makes for an impressive display and everything. And again, like I said, you can see by my hand, you know, over the top of it, just how large this thing is. I mean, you know, I'm pretty much stretching from my pinky to my thumb to get over the ends of the wingtips and stuff. So, yeah, I had fun with it. You know, other than a little bit of hassle I had to do to get everything to fit properly and all that, but. It's pretty cool. Makes for a nice large display. They're supposed to be coming out with the same scale in the regular TIE fighter. That's going to be a new mold and everything. I guess a new release and everything. I don't know when it's going to be out, but it was at they showed it at Wonderfest and everything. So I'll probably eventually get that one. That way I got the Darth Vader and the regular TIE fighter, you know, side by side, both of them in the large scale. Now, like I said, this is, unless you get yourself a resin kit or something in 1/24th scale, this is close you're going to get to studio scale and a plastic model kit off the shelf and everything. So, again, this is the MPC re-release and all that. They're releasing a lot of the other Star Wars kits from back in the day. I know they got an X-wing, I think is the same scale on that, but detail on that one it's really poor and everything. There's a lot of stuff that's separate pieces on the Bandai kits, and that one's got, you know, very few parts. A lot of the stuff is molded in one piece and all that. The detail is either missing or not really well defined and all that. So I'm going to pass on those, but I thought a nice size the TIE fighters would be pretty cool. So that's going to do it. I thought I'd share this this build with everybody. You know, I didn't do no kind of build series on it because it was, you know, basically just a basic build, other than all the clamping and squeezing and hoping the joints held and everything and all that. The cockpit that goes in here is different than the Bandai kit too. It's like 5 pieces. The Bandai kit is like a sphere. You know, almost like 2 halves and everything, and it snaps in there. This one, there's it basically sits on the bottom edge of the body, and there's barely any edge to glue it and stuff. And being that I used some fiber optics, I got it in place, and I had a 5-minute epoxy that too, because the glue, it just kept popping loose with the glue, even though I was using a liquid cement and everything like that, you know, and all. But I just painted that medium gray color, and then I use a darker gray color to highlight all the detail you can see on the back panel and everything there. There's some like a hatch type deal back there and stuff. So, but anyway, that's gonna do it for now. And I want to thank everybody for following along with my channel. Thank everybody for following along with my builds. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks to all my new subscribers. Thanks for hitting the like button. Thanks for all the great comments you guys been leaving me. And I'll see you soon. I'm working on finishing up some other diorama bases and everything. We've been having a lot of pretty humid weather, real high heat indexes and stuff here in Illinois. So actually building a model from start as far as paint and all that goes, even with the air going in the house, it's been pretty kind of on the damp, you know, humid side. So a lot of moisture. So I'm holding off on any kind of paint and everything till we get some cooler weather. You know, it's going to be fall here before you know it. So like my USS Grissom, the Star Trek, the 350 Grissom, I'll hold off till the fall when the weather's nice to paint and everything, and I can get some open windows and, you know, get some fresh air where it's not, you know, muggy or nothing like that. But yeah, other than that, I'm working on one diorama base. It's like a water-based diorama type deal, and I'm using the Mod Podge and all that. And even the Mod Podge don't want to dry properly. It takes a lot longer to dry just because of the moisture in the house. Like I said, even with the air going, it's comfortable in the house, but the heat indexes have been so high outside, you can actually feel the moisture in the house and everything. So But that's gonna do it for now. So I'll be back soon. You know, maybe in a few days or a week or so with another finished up model and stuff. But I know it's been a while that I did any videos on some model builds. So we'll give it one more quick spin around and all that, and back up a little bit, and that's gonna do it. So I like the way it came out. And like I said, you know, it's a fairly decent size model and stuff. So till the next time, everybody, take care. Have a great rest of the week. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.